Hello, welcome to HITC Sport, and it's official. Philippe Coutinho's career is lying face down in some brummy dustbin outside a church. Coutinho is not even 30 years old and currently playing for a fan base who used to get excited about signing the likes of Darren Bent. Price love, after the traumatic decade they've had, those fans are probably get excited about getting a free box of Cocoa Pops.
Oh, Irish guy, you say every transfer is a disgrace?
No, not true, alright? So Trippier's just signed for Newcastle. Fine, good for him. And Nathan Patterson's just moved to Everton. Absolutely fine, all happy families there. But this transfer is about as happily a family as the Jackson 5. I mean, come on, the last time Coutinho laid eyes on Villa Park, he was walking off the pitch with a 6-0 win. Christ above, a homemade defensive pizza like Julian Lescott at the back, a walking beanbag like Gabby Bonlahor up front, and with Mark Bunn in goal. That doesn't sound like a goalkeeper. No, sounds like something you'd order from the Muffin Man on Drury Lane. Coutinho probably looked at all those Aston Villa players with pity in his eyes. I mean, sharing a pitch with the likes of Alan Hutton, Scott Sinclair and Micah Richards. It was literally a field filled with has-beens. I mean, I'm surprised Peter Andre and Samantha Mumba hadn't been invited to that party. But, tell Coutinho then that soon he would be a Villa employee, and it'd be like walking past a homeless man who still stinks of a mixture of Pepsi and dog piss, and someone telling you that within half a decade that you would actually be sharing a sleeping bag with him in a caravan site in Blackpool. Oh, the very thought would paralyze you with fear. Back then, Coutinho would probably have rather accepted a part-time gig raising sheep on the hills of Malawi than to one day wind up at Villa Park on loan, right? So Christ, when he packed his bags and left England for Spain, Villa were stuffed in Championship mid-table with Steve Bruce at the wheel. At the time, a job offer there looked about as appetizing as a cake dipped in poo. If you had told him in 2018 at that airport when he got off the plane in Spain that his next move would be to Villa Park, he'd look at you as if you just offered him 2 tickets to watch Teletubbies on ice. By the lads, for anyone who's new here, if you're not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Slap the big red button in the nose. Come on, it's free, it's easy. It takes a quarter of a second. Anyway, absolute legends, back into the video. I mean, Coutinho left a club who at the time had 5 European Cups in their locker. The only thing in Villa's locker is a few old newspapers and an empty box of Jaffa cakes. Okay, no, that's not true. I know they have won the European Cup themselves, but the last time they did that, Wham were in the charts. I mean, people seem to think that his decision to leave Liverpool was a mistake. I was always hesitant to say that the longer he remained a Barcelona employee, because foolishly, I thought,
oh, he's still got time to turn it all around.
What, does he now? It's January 2022, and this is a £142 million footballer currently searching for Birmingham flats on Gumtree. So by the end of the week, when he's stuffed into a 3-star bed and breakfast, being served out-of-date scrambled eggs and bacon by single mum Sheila, before being woken up at 3 AM by the sound of drunk students spewing vomit on the pavement outside, oh, I think he might realise that dream move to Barcelona has turned out to be an utter trauma. Forget the football for a minute. Barcelona is a city steeped in beautiful, breathtaking, gaudy culture and tradition, right? Now you're living in a town made famous by Ozzy Osbourne, Troy Deeney and Peaky Blinders. I'm sure it boasts the largest library in Europe, but as we all know, if you're not Neda Managoa, then most footballers struggle to read the contents of Hello Magazine. I mean, too many big words. And I'm guessing after his 3rd visit to Cadbury World, Coutinho is going to be so bored, he might actually spoon out his eyes with a fork. Listen, I have nothing against Aston Villa Football Club. It's a historic club, you've got a decent team who should be battling for the top half, but I just can't get over the fact that Coutinho, he should not be joining a team who just lost away at Brentford. I realise you want to get your career back on track, but James Rodriguez tried the whole mid-table thing at Everton. I'm sure he started well, but once the novelty of being a big fish in a small pond wore off, he sobered up and realised that the usual superstars who he was used to playing with were long gone, and in their place just a bunch of pudding standard players with the first touch of a wheelie bin. He was probably the only one who was able to successfully do the crossbar challenge from the halfway line, or 12 keepy-uppies without falling over. Comparing what he was used to playing with, suddenly the Everton squad probably looked like the cast of Muppets Treasure Island, and his motivation and hunger fell off a cliff to the point where he's now just rotting on some beach in Qatar. Is Coutinho really going to have the appetite to dig in for a team who continue to play Courtney House at the back? I mean, his former Liverpool teammates are in a title race and competing for the Champions League, so I'm guessing both he and Gerrard will probably spend every Friday night crying under the table in his office. Like James, I'm sure Coutinho will start well. Now he's slumming it for some average Joe. I mean, his first 2 games are against an old foe like Manchester United. Great. They are a club who always seem to bring out the best in Coutinho, even while at Barcelona. I mean, there's something about listening to 60,000 Manc accents calling you a malnourished orphan on a Saturday afternoon, which just seems to stir the blood in Coutinho's veins. I mean, nothing quite like getting a hunk of phlegm hitting your cheek from someone who probably works the night shift sweeping floors in River Island. But by May, when he's scrapping for a point at Burnley, or watching his goalie concede 5 at the Etihad, honestly, he's going to be begging his barber to shove the scissors in his eye. Philippe Coutinho is officially the biggest waste of money on the planet. Coutinho, he's like the opposite of that Latin American football stereotype, because he's proven that he can do it on a windy Tuesday night at Wigan and Sunderland, but can't actually hack the La Liga sunshine. Nobody at Barcelona knew how to use Coutinho. Good Christ, Ernesto Valverde was handed a shiny new expensive toy and was almost pressured to use it, even though he didn't actually want it. I mean, it's like receiving a brand new chess set for Christmas. I mean, you don't play chess, you've never played chess, but by gum, if you don't move a bastard pawn on Christmas Day, oh, then your granddad will snap your fingers like a Kit Kat. This is official. The sight of Coutinho being paraded in an Aston Villa shirt is proof to me that this young man is beating his career to death with a sledgehammer. He left Liverpool at the worst possible time. His mind was made up in the summer of 2017 that after nearly 5 years as a Liverpool player, he was ready to take the next step in his career, and who could blame him? The Reds had just squeaked into 4th in the Premier League, and in 2017, he'd already been part of a team losing to Swansea, Hull and Crystal Palace. Clearly, he was sick to the teeth of putting goalies with the wrist strength of a sausage sandwich. The fact his club were having to rely on Adam Lallana to step up and score goals. I mean, even during the summer, on paper, the transfer business looked about as exciting as stale buttermilk. The club failed with 2 bids for Monaco's Thomas Lemar, instead throwing a combined £70 million on a Chelsea flop and an Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain who had been so uninspiring for Arsenal that even half the refs thought he was just a fat Kieran Gibbs. And watching his manager buy a teenage beanpole like Dominic Solanke from Chelsea, oh, and a relegated Hull City left back, no wonder Coutinho pretended he had the back muscles of Judi Dench to try and escape the club. Don't forget, just 2 weeks before he finally left, he was watching his club spend £75 million on a Southampton centre half. I mean, back then he was seen as the Dutch Harry Maguire. So yeah, Coutinho must have watched all this the same way you'd watch your elderly mother now pouring milk in the toaster and trying to iron the cat. Just no! You're 29 years of age, stuffed in a mid-table dressing room with the likes of Ashley Young and Anwar Al-Ghazi. Nice enough, he'd already left behind the likes of Danny Ings 4 years ago. Yes, I know you played alongside Stevie G as a player, but so what? For Villa fans, it's a great signing. I mean, pinch yourselves. This is Jack Grealish's Brazilian replacement, and his name is Prince Philip. No, not that one. But how guilty must this man have felt for the last 2 years? He was watching a great club like Barcelona, now barely able to afford toilet water, never mind the wages of Lionel Messi, was the most expensive footballer in the history of the club. Big guilty then. I mean, it's been like if you go out now, go down to the local orphanage and pay £10,000 for some spotty kid. Well, when a year goes by and you can no longer afford electricity or food for your wife, whilst he's ungratefully sitting on the couch playing the Xbox and eating a multi-pack of Kit Kats, then yeah, he's probably gonna feel a tinge of guilt when you're now contemplating making toast in the bath. But why did he fail at Barcelona? Well, the reason that he was a disaster was because he was bought without a plan. According to Nike, they wanted to push the move so Coutinho could replace Neymar on the left wing. But the football people at Barcelona tried to mold him into the next Andres Iniesta. But no, because Coutinho isn't a number 8 or really a winger. His best position is number 10, which hasn't really existed at Barcelona since Deco. I mean, I suppose you could say Messi, but he plays all over the pitch. An obvious reason why Coutinho can never be the next Iniesta is because, yeah, never came through La Masia. At Barcelona, you were ingrained into playing a certain style of football from the age of 6. It's why Cesc Fabregas, even after nearly 10 years living in London, he was still able to come back and reintegrate himself into the Barca philosophy of playing, because he grew up on that. But Coutinho, nah, he grew up in the beaches of Brazil, playing for Vasco da Gama, looking every inch a curly Oliver Twist. He moved to the Nou Camp aged 25 years old, and after 4 years of playing under Brendan Rodgers, where he was essentially the Brazilian James Maddison, was he ever really going to be able to catch up and relearn the principles of football according to Barcelona in order to play in central midfield? Probably not. It's like trying to teach a cat how to bark. You can't really teach an old dog new tricks. The discipline that goes into being a number 8 in Barcelona's midfield. Why do you think the world-class Yaya Toure was binned after 2 years? Why Alex Song was about as much use as Multi-Weeda Bix? Even Frankie de Jong's been a bit underwhelming, but guess what? Pedri was snapped up at Barcelona as a 16-year-old boy, and he's since been molded into a teenage superstar. Barcelona needed to get them while they're young. And not in a Kevin Spacey way. Half the battle at Barcelona is trying to retrieve the ball when you lose it. Coutinho looked at that job as if he'd been asked to pick up dog poo in the woods. Clearly asking an expensive superstar like Coutinho to track back. Oh, that was a bit like asking Kendall Jenner to scrub toilets at the airport. I mean, they're not going to do it. Most of the time in a Barca shirt, Coutinho had the midfield presence of Casper the Friendly Ghost. He was just sluggish. Look, I don't blame Coutinho for making the Barcelona move. He just watched his mate Luis Suarez make the same career move while he was left behind in a team losing 6-1 to Stoke the same month his mate was playing in the Champions League final. Oh, no wonder Coutinho was eager to follow in his footsteps and escape Anfield, right? He was the one who stayed behind to play with Joe Allen and Benteke. But no. This should have been the turning point in Coutinho's career. January 2017.
Philippe Coutinho signs new 5-year deal at Liverpool to end Barcelona interest.
There. You've done it. You've just been given a guaranteed 5 more years at Anfield, taking you up until this season. Right now, you could be earning £150,000 a week, playing in a team fighting for the title. Instead, you're in a team fighting for 12th, with Ollie Watkins up front. Coutinho, this should have been your dream contract. Being given a 5-year deal security on the cusp of Liverpool's greatest era since the 80s. Do you know how many players in the history of Liverpool Football Club would have killed to have this contract in January 2017? Steven Gerrard! He would have given his left knob to be given a 5-year deal in 2017. This was essentially like Charlie winning that chocolate golden ticket. Except instead of winning the chance to go and meet a pervert in his shed, you would have been a part of a team which reached 2 Champions League finals, winning 1. You missed out on being part of a Liverpool team who clawed 98 points in the Premier League season and then 99 the next. And who are we kidding? If they had kept Coutinho, then yeah, Liverpool would have probably won a Premier League title 2 seasons on the bounce. Because I'm pretty sure the addition of a supposed £140 million playmaker would probably have got you at least another 2 points in 2019. I know, technically, he's since won the Champions League with Bayern Munich. I'm sure he'll be able to proudly show that medal to his grandkids and tell them all about the time he made 15-minute cameos in empty stadiums in a Champions League season that couldn't even find the time to fit in second legs. Celebrating that medal, I mean, it's a bit like someone accepting an Oscar for Lord of the Rings when all they really did was just make Gandalf his coffee on set and they used to make Elijah Wood his lunch. I mean, get off the podium! Coutinho leaving Klopp when he did he learn nothing from Mario Götze? Another man is probably crying into an empty pizza box that he walked out on such a genius motivator at a pivotal point in his career. I mean, this is what Klopp said about Coutinho in 2017.
Stay here at Liverpool and they will end up building a statue in your honour. Go somewhere else, to Barcelona, to Bayern Munich, to Real Madrid, and you will be just another player.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the video. What do you think? Alright, has Coutinho made a mistake? Let me know. Alright, let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe. As always, I'll talk to you in a while.